Hello, this is the Nightline Podcast. My name's James Pikeway, and if you want to learn more about the program, please go to www.dubai1038.com or email us, nightline@dubai1038.ae. Enjoy the show. Motoring Middle East is here. If you're wondering who these gentlemen are, Imthishan and Shahzad are here. CarTalk is the name of the program, which means you get an opportunity to chime in about things you love, things you don't love. You got some complaints, and I got a couple of complaints this week. We'll share those with you in just a second. But before we get there, the question is, what are you driving? And Shahzad, you said, I'm driving Igor's car. And I'm going, you met Dr. Igor? Because he's awesome.
Dr. Igor.
He's even got no hair. So he is just, he's a presence. You don't want to mess with Dr. Igor.
So if we can remember what it was that he was driving, because last week I did the first part of the show from a Dodge Charger Hellcat. And I believe he was listening to that first part, wasn't he?
You were goosing it around the corner.
What's that goosing? Is that an American term?
It's when you give it a little bit of gas as you put your pedal down.
I was not interfering with any fowls and wildlife at all. I don't know what he's talking about. No, okay, I was putting a little bit of pedal to the metal in the car, and I believe he heard that, and he was like, "Oh, what a cool sound!" And then he told us what car he's got. So can you remember what car he said he had?
Yes. A Chrysler 300.
Chrysler 300. What actual 300 was it?
SRT.
And what color was it?
Red.
Snap! Snap!
You're a little excited.
That's what I've got.
Red too.
Yeah, it's not his car though. I hasten to add, I have not nicked his car.
Igor right now is out in the parking lot looking to see
which
car's
still
there.
Oh my God, they've taken my car. No, I've got another one. And follow us on Motoring Middle East, because I shall be running this car over the next month or so. It's our long-termer.
Running away with it, you mean?
I would like to, because it is that good. And as I said last week, this is one of our favorite cars, because we did actually give it an award in our 2015 Motoring Middle East Car of the Year Awards. You can follow us. You can follow all my updates on that. Hashtag MME long-termer, hashtag MME 300CSRT, and you'll find our posts on social media.
We couldn't think of anything shorter, could we?
No. Well, I just go with the obvious, I go with the obvious. MME
it's not only obvious to you, that's the problem.
So
it's MME car.
Okay, question. You were just finished driving the ultimate family machine, the Hellcat.
Yeah.
Now you're in the 300 SRT.
Yeah, I had to do that because he nicked the Hellcat off me.
So the question is, though, which one is really the legitimate family machine? If I'm
this is going to be good.
If I'm torn between Igor and going another direction, because he's got 3 kids in the back of that car, his SRT, 300 Chrysler 300 SRT. You've now just gotten out of the Hellcat. You've just passed it on to Imthishan, who does not want to give it back to anybody.
Yeah.
Which one do you think is the family machine?
Well, Imthishan and I were having this discussion earlier today. Sorry, was it a discussion or was it an argument? I'm not quite sure, yeah. But it was one of those two, depending on who was the watching us at the time. And I was saying that the Hellcat is actually the perfect family saloon car.
Even more so than the 300?
Now, the 300C SRT, to me, and I was thinking this on the way here, that's a boss car.
I just don't...
you feel like the boss when you drive that car. Yeah. Yeah. That's like, you are Mr. Don when you drive that car. That's what that car is about.
All I think about when I see that car is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's all I can think about. Wasn't even a particularly good movie, and I just think of that car and that movie. Who
Framed Roger Rabbit is a great movie.
Yeah, okay, whatever. I just
leaving.
It's the shape. It looks like a Kleenex box. I've said that from day one. I know it's a powerhouse.
The 300C SRT.
From the solid is the
I think Dr. Igor will have some
People
words with you.
love it, but it just reminds me of, and I'm not even saying a tissue box, Kleenex brand Kleenex box.
Well, at least it's not off-brand, so there you go.
I think it looks absolutely awesome. I think it looks the part. It looks hunkered down. It looks mean. It's got those broad, high shoulders. Yeah. It's got that roof line that's down. It's got almost this hot roddy,
it does have that
greenhouse effect about it.
It makes you think of Hot Wheels. It does.
It does. And it's got this. It's still got this Bentley-esque feel about it as well. Last week I said that the Hellcat was the Bugatti Veyron of supercar of saloon cars.
Did anyone call you on that yet? No.
I may have put some people's.
So you decided to say it again on air.
Yeah, you know
to the
what?
world.
Well,
to the world.
I've done a little meme for it as well. You know,
of course you have.
The Bugatti Veyron of family saloons. That's what the Hellcat Charger is. This car.
Imthishan is surprisingly quiet over there.
Well,
I think he agrees for once.
Yeah, there's not much to add to that, is that? Plus, I disagree on almost every front.
Yeah, exactly. So the 300C SRT is the Bentley Flying Spur speed of family cars. So you can instead of going for one of those, you can get one of these. And you've
this
got
is for
a
the
car.
dad who has a lot of money.
This is for the dad. Come on, yeah,
Clearly.
but for the dad who has a lot of money goes for the Bentley. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So the dad who doesn't have a lot of money can go for this and
Ah,
pretend he is Mr. Mafioso Don.
Doesn't the dad who has a lot of money drive like something nice like an F-Type, and then basically, the maid drives the Range Rover with all the kids in it?
Yeah, but what if you're only allowed one car?
Oh, good point. Good point. Okay, how much is the 300C?
You're in dad jail then. That's all I can work out.
What's the 300C SRT going to cost us?
Ooh, what is the 200 SCT? Ooh, what's around 200 something?
And the Hellcat?
The Hellcat is just below 300 at the moment.
So
from what I've heard.
200 something and just below 300. That puts them in the same kind of range.
They're close. They're close. That's why I would still buy a Hellcat. But I do love this SRT. I do love the 300C SRT. And the 300C SRT does have this kind of stealth.
I like the way you make sure that you get the C in there.
Oh yeah.
It's
I feel that's important.
Yeah.
Do you not think so?
No, it is. It is.
I feel that. I know because I know there are different specs because there's the 300S as well.
Yeah.
So I
I
think
think it's always been called 300C though.
Yeah,
isn't it?
but I think in the American market you also get 300S version, don't you?
Yeah, that's slightly different.
And they don't get the SRT.
They don't get the SRT. You see.
They did some really nice special editions though. Have you ever seen the Varvatos edition they did in the US, which is all blacked out or murdered out, as the kids say? That is, Google it, people. The John Varvatos, who is a US fashion designer, did a special edition 300. Very nice.
It would be nice if they'd let me do a special edition, but I guess
The
because
James Pickley edition.
I guess
that's
because
a lot of letters on the back.
I guess because I've told them that it looks like a Kleenex brand Kleenex blocks, that's never going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's very not going to endear you to the designers. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, they're listening right now and said, yeah, make sure this guy's on no lists.
But it would be cool to do a CarTalk edition car, wouldn't it?
It would be.
Oh, God, are you kidding me? It would be like brown. It would be a wagon. It would have wood. Nobody would buy that car.
The interior upholstery would have to be one of your shirts, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It would be the loudest thing since somebody had a megaphone.
This is such a cool idea. I think we should go out and buy. We should go down to Alawir and buy a car. And do the CarTalk
That would be
Special
the
Edition
fastest
car.
depreciating car in the history of the UAE.
It would have all the things we love in it. Lots of cup holders.
That's it. We'll do wood paneling on the
Wood
side.
paneling. Pimped out muffler system.
Tissue boxes.
Air shocks. So we can get it to jump.
This sounds awesome. I think we should market this.
It's almost like a tractor. It'd be like we could maybe start from a tractor.
That's it. Let's do that. Let's do a CarTalk Special Edition tractor.
It's brilliant. Brilliantly awful, but brilliant.
Oh dear. But anyway, SRT, yeah, absolutely rocks. Love it. I just got it literally yesterday. I was just getting used to the car. Fantastic car. Give you a bit more of a report on it next week. But yeah, I'm going to be using this for the next 4 weeks, so it should be
nice.
Should be a bit of a laugh.
Very nice. Look forward to hearing a whole bunch more about that. If you're wondering what you're listening to, it is Car Talk. The boys from Motoring Middle East are here. They're professional journalists. That's what they do for a living. They talk about cars, and they want to talk to you about cars. You want to talk to them.
I don't know why people let us do this. I don't know, but anyway.
Hey, you know what? Because people have questions, and I got a complaint that that we're going to get to in just a second.
Is it Dr. Igor?
No.
Okay, good.
But I'm waiting for him to text through.
That's right. It's not your car, really, Doctor. Sorry.
No, but you know what? We got a whole bunch to talk about. We want to get you involved in the program. This is Car Talk if you're wondering what you're listening to. And if you want to get involved, this is how you can do it. This is Car Talk. Motoring Middle East's amazing journalists are here talking cars.
If in the house. MME in the house.
There you go.
Do the hand thing. Yo. I
Yeah.
tried doing it last night, and somebody said, Shazad, don't do that.
Yeah.
All right.
It's 1989 in here.
Put in my place.
Hey, I two things I need to correct. One, we were talking about paintless dent removal last week.
We were, weren't we? That's right, yeah.
AutomotiveRepairSystems.ae are the people doing this.
That's who you're talking about, yeah.
I was talking about these guys, and we were having a conversation about getting dents repaired, etc., etc. These guys, 450 dirhams, every dent on your car.
Oh, it's every dent.
Every single dent. So it's a one-time, you go in with your car, 450 dirhams, they undent it.
Oh, right, because that's because we were a little confused about that last week, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yes, every dent. Oh, okay, well, you know what? I might take mine then, because it's got a I'd like to see them cure every dent on my car. That'd be good.
You know, I mean, these guys are professionals. So
for 450 dirhams.
450 dirhams.
Every dent.
All dents.
Wow, that's pretty good value, isn't it? You've had some smart repair work done, haven't you, in the
I had some
past?
smart repair, and actually, they used to be the guys that did the smart denting and repair for Alpha Time Toyota. So when I had my 86 and I backed it into a wall, as in my wall in my house, so I can't really blame anybody.
Damn wall.
Yeah, just wall.
Who put that wall there?
Seriously, it conspires against me at night. So I took it over to them, and I feared the worst, repainting the whole bumper. Nobody liked that sort of thing. But then, when we were doing service, I just said, "Can you fix this?" And they did. And while I waited for the service, they did a smart dent repair and a smart paint repair. Actually, it wasn't a dent, but it's a very small scratch.
There we go.
Look good as new.
AutomotiveRepairSystems.ae,
So
450 dirhams, every dent on
There you
your
go.
vehicle. Go look them up and give them a try. So, the other one, and we want to jump back to Renegades, and I am so looking forward eventually when you get a Renegade in your hands, Sean, you drive over to my place with it and you leave it with me for a couple hours, because
That actually is what might happen.
That is happening.
I'm
That
looking
is
forward to
gonna
this,
happen.
because every time I'm over
James
by
is testing cars.
Yeah.
every time I'm
Oh,
over
dear.
I'm over by
James test.
MME. Hashtag MME James test.
Okay, whatever.
I'm over at the
Your
Aviation Club,
hashtag.
and I'm in the parking lot of the Aviation Club, and there are some pretty sleek cars in there. And who keeps parking right in front of me? It's a teaser. Is a Renegade, and
Whoa.
it's like a light brown Renegade. I'm telling you, I walk around it. My son says, "Dad, get away from that car. It's not yours." And I said, "I just got to look inside
You know
this
they
car."
make a yellow one.
Oh.
In Italy, I
done.
saw a yellow one.
Done.
It was great. Bright yellow.
But I just look at these things, and I was on my knees beside it, and my son's going,
Steady on.
"Son." My son's going, "Dad, you don't have to be kneeling beside the car." I know. I want to see the clearance. And it's I'm
Next
looking
thing
at
you get
this.
A policeman come up to you and say,
Yeah, the
acting
security.
suspiciously
The
around
cameras
this
are
car.
doing they're panning in on me. What's that guy doing?
They're panning and zooming and whirring and
Yeah.
They're
clicking.
like, what is this guy
But
doing?
I'm looking at these Renegades, and I'm truly saying, man, you know what? This looks to me like an awesome Jeep.
I think it would suit you, actually, yeah.
Yeah.
You were at Camp Jeep
That's a
driving
nice
these things
segue.
around.
So I was in Camp Jeep in Barcelona, Italy. It's an event that happens every year for the last 3 years. So it's very similar to the US Jeep Jamboree in Moab, where they basically bring all the Jeepers from across the country together for one big blowout party where they go off-roading in the trails around Moab. Now, the Europeans were like, we're not having any of that, they said as they sipped on their tea, and they created their own event called Camp Jeep, which is a huge affair. Usually it's in lots of places. It's been, I think, in Italy, France, and this year it's in Barcelona, and this year they invited us as well to come and check it out. It's quite a nice event, actually. They have a big space. It's a bit like it's like a what do you call that? When you show and shine? Show and shine.
Car
It's a
meet.
bit- A car meet, that
Yeah.
too. So basically lots of
the things we used to do before.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, those
It's a
ones.
long time ago. Lots of very, very clean cars. Lots of, F&B, so hot dogs and that sort of thing. And then they had a concert as well with the band that Shazad has never heard of. But I was very excited
They
to
had
see.
hot dogs?
They had hot dogs.
Oh, man.
So you notice he stopped at the hot dogs. He didn't,
I know,
he didn't
right?
ask about the band.
I'm not even bothering
My God,
with you
they
two.
have hot dogs. Whoa.
But it was a lot of fun. And they also had examples of their most recent concept cars. So they had the Jeep Trailcat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one with the Hellcat engine
Yeah.
in a Wrangler.
Yeah.
which I have driven.
Whoa.
I was quite satisfying to me because I was quite sad that I would lose my status as the only person in this room who's driven a Trailcat, because they had an event with other journalists, and then we ride there, you know what? They said, nobody's driving it.
There you go.
Nobody's driving it. So just passenger rides. I was like, yeah, awesome. So also it was just they wouldn't allow you to drive on the road because it's not road legal for Europe.
Yeah.
And they were just ragging it in a field.
Yeah.
But to be honest, it's a lot of car.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to the event. Really nice event if you're a Jeeper in Europe, and I think they have it in a different place every year. It's very, very nicely done. But what we would also there do is try out all the most recent Jeeps in the terrain around Barcelona, which is not really known as an off-roading paradise.
Yeah.
But we got to play around with a lot of really cool cars, a lot of Wranglers and Renegades and these sorts of things. And they are extremely capable. To be honest, the Renegade was very, very surprising because you have all these deep rutted trails and very steep climbs. And European off-roading, I should stress, is not like Middle East off-roading. You don't need to deflate tires. You don't need to really do anything special apart from just get dressed and get in your car. Because most of the trails, as Shazad knows, are not public access. So you can't just drive off the road and start driving. You really have to pick a trail that's open to use for off-road vehicles, because it could be somebody's field.
Right.
Probably
Okay.
is, actually.
So in Europe, think of off-roading as most a chance to get to places that you wouldn't normally get to in a car.
All right.
So we went to the top of mountains, stunning views, absolutely stunning views, and these Jeeps just got us up there. And of course,
So you're up in the Pyrenees Mountains, right?
I don't know the geography of it.
Yeah.
It is a mountain. It was a mountain.
Looked
It was a
pretty
very
spectacular.
It was a mountain where they said go one at a time because you can't turn around at the top. So let's not all of you go at once, shall you? So we do, and the Renegade. The funny thing was, I went to the Wrangler, and of course, the Wrangler, we were just hauling butt.
Yeah.
We were just little jumping here and there, a little Cold Seavers Fall Guy action.
Yeah.
But honestly speaking, it was more car than I needed.
Okay.
The Renegade was really, really capable, and they started raining. And, it gets a little greasy on these European roads, but the Renegade was really, really planted. So you go from mud to grass to rock. It was fine. Absolutely fine.
So remind me, if I want to get entry-level Renegade, what am I looking at? What kind of pricing?
You buy in Ramadan right now, I believe it's in the early 80s. I think it's 82 or 86.
The one that I had before, not the one I had actually.
In
but
Abu
the
Dhabi,
one,
it's even cheaper.
Yeah, the one that we
so
talked
if I go to
about
Abu
last
Dhabi,
one.
I can get a better deal.
No, hold on. The one in Abu the one in Abu Dhabi.
No.
The one in Abu Dhabi, you can get a better deal, but it's only a two-wheel drive. So they're doing
a two-wheel drive.
Yeah, that's the thing. So they're doing a two-wheel drive version at Western Motors in Abu Dhabi, which is 70,000 dirhams, and then the one over here is 85,000 dirhams. That's the longitude version with the four-wheel drive and everything.
Having said that, if you want a car, you're not typically fussed about going to the beach or whatever, the two-wheel drive version is fine. I mean, I sneaky secret, when I did the entire event, I did it in two-wheel drive. The instructor's like, put in four-wheel drive. I'm like, no. So we pretty much did all of it in two-wheel drive in the Wrangler. And you don't really need... This is going to be really controversial for the people in Europe who really modify their cars, but in Europe you don't need to because the terrain isn't that tough. I mean, the ground clearance to get in a Wrangler is more than enough. And I didn't hit anything on the Renegade.
Okay.
Didn't hit anything on the Cherokees or whatever that we drove. Grand Cherokee was fine.
Wow.
So every vehicle that we drove had more than enough ground clearance, more than enough power. So there's literally no reason to modify your car in Europe. In the Middle East, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Because the terrain, you want to go a little faster, you want to go over dunes and things, every inch of clearance helps.
Back to the Renegade. 85 is going to get me a fully kitted out Renegade, something I'm going to be really happy to be driving.
Entry level.
Yeah. Well, they own at the moment. There's
I'll
only
do
one
medium
model.
spec, I would say.
But you see what I'm driving now. I've got like a car out there that doesn't even have
it'll
cruise
have- it's a
control.
Flintstones car is your car.
Does it have cruise control for 85?
Yeah,
Where's it going?
yeah.
I don't even have cruise control.
Yeah.
Let alone
It'll
Windows.
have all the infotainment package and all that sort of stuff in it. Yeah, it'll have all of that. Yeah.
It's a good deal. And to be honest with you, it's a very, very capable... It's a real Jeep.
Yeah.
Because we got the sense as we were bounding over these rocks, and I had a very skeptical co-pilot. And by the end of it, he was like, no, this is a real Jeep. Because the way it just scampers... It reminds me of the Suzuki Jimny. It's just a little mountain
I
goat.
still keep threatening to head over there and see if they'll loan me one for a couple hours just to go for some fun.
Yeah, but that's a very old-fashioned car.
I know. That's what I'm looking at. Something
that's
that's
quite agricultural.
It's
And
got
also
no
the thing is,
features. It's just a great
it's
car.
pretty basic. It's a
Yeah.
great
And you
little
get into a
car.
Renegade with a little 9-speed automatic, and
Yeah.
that's just perfectly spaced ratios, really nice and smooth on the highway, and you think, no, this is actually nice having lots of toys.
But also,
Having
and also the
navigation.
Renegade is actually, although you could perceive it to be like a Suzuki Jimny, but it's actually a much more spacious car.
It fits him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fully family-friendly car, this thing.
Well, that's
With
the other
decent
thing.
Wow, you
I-
said that.
specs,
That's
you
very
know.
impressive.
I keep
There you
walking
go.
by it. Whenever, as I said, I keep seeing one at the aviation club, and I keep going, man, this thing's big.
Yeah.
It is big.
Yeah, it's a bit like a TARDIS on the inside because it has actually got lots and lots of space.
It
You
is
know?
very comfortable. It is quite spacious. I mean, I can't get over the fact that it may be more spacious than the Cherokee, which is one class above it.
Really?
It is a very comfortable car.
There's one thing you will like because I've seen your Jeep. You can remove the roof panels. So there's two big roof panels at the top.
Panel roofs, they call it.
Yeah, you can take them off.
Magic roofs, I believe, yeah.
Really?
So, yeah,
Just
yeah.
like a Wrangler.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah,
And there
you're
are
sold, huh? Sold, done. Where's the dotted line?
And there's a spider hidden in the car.
Forget the spider. I can take the roof off
Yes,
on the one that I'm going to go get for 85.
yes.
Oh, well.
So basically, instead of a sunroof, it has these two panels.
Are
that
they
sit
still
on the
open
top.
right now? Can you guys
Let's
keep
go down there
covering
now.
the show?
We'll go
Let's just
They're actually open till 11:30.
we'll have
Yeah,
Esther
it is.
cover the show,
Yes.
and we'll run out.
It's Ramadan specials on. Let's go. So they have these panels which the front will also tilt as well, so it acts like a sunroof sort of thing.
Yeah.
But actually, you just take them out, and then in the boot you've got this massive bag, this sort of a vinyl covered bag, and you can put the panels in the bag and secure them in there, and then you've still got the boot space as well, still to use. So yeah, it's a really clever.
You get that on
arrangement.
Wranglers as well, I should add.
Yeah.
They send you bags as well.
I never got a bag with mine.
Because you got a soft top.
and I got a hard top too. Issa wants to know, do they have a Renegade in the TrailHawk spec?
Not in stock at the moment.
Not in stock, no.
Yeah.
But you can get it.
Yeah.
Hound
Hound your dealer.
Hound your dealer. I'm
Yeah.
not sure that you need the TrailHawk. I know everybody's like, oh, I only must have the
I like
TrailHawk.
I like the badge
Here's
though.
the thing. The TrailHawk actually is a better off-road, but marginally. Because you're never going to take it into the big dunes and fly. Although having said that, I might try that
you never
very
know. Yeah.
Might try that very soon.
Yeah.
But the Trailhawk's abilities are probably more than most people need. The base car is actually plenty capable for going to the beaches, climbing curbs, that sort of thing. It's perfectly fine.
The only difference I know is that the Trailhawk is about 20 millimeters, which is not a lot.
It's
20
an inch,
millimeters.
it's an inch higher.
Yeah, it's 20 millimeters higher, and plus it's got the better approach and departure angles. So like if you're really serious about it,
you don't need that in Dubai, approach angles.
Yeah,
approach angles. Or the mall.
Yeah. So for regular stuff, the regular car will be fine.
And also the regular car will be better on gas because it doesn't got knobbly tires. It's got smoother tires, which are good for road. And actually, the smooth tires are good in the sand.
Okay.
People should realize that. But
yeah. All right. Excellent. There you go, Issa. I hope that helps you out. If you're wondering what you're listening to, it is Car Talk, and we've got the journalists in studio from Motoring Middle East. If you've got questions, actually, we've got a caller on the line. So why don't we head over to the line? It's Manu joining us. Let's see who it is. Good evening. Welcome to the program.
Hi. Good evening, guys. You guys are doing an absolutely fabulous job.
Hey, thank you very much. Really appreciate that endorsement.
I'm glad somebody's listening.
Now, I was born and brought up over here, and my family, we've had numerous cars, but I always wanted to drive or own a Range Rover. Now, when it comes to a Range Rover Sport, say the 2006 to 2008 or the 2009 to 2011 model, what could go wrong if I were to take up one of the used ones?
The short answer is, hi, this is Imthishan. The short answer is quite a bit.
I thought you were going to say everything.
I was going to say everything, but I thought I'd temper that a little bit and say not everything, just most things. Yeah. The newer you can get, the better. Post 2010 is better for those V8 engines. Because the regular ones, 2006 ones, they're fine, but they were a little problematic. The 2010 cars are built slightly better. But the Sport is not a cheap car to run. Having said that, I mean, you should totally get one. The price points are coming down, etc. You just need to be aware that they are not cheap cars to run, and things can go wrong periodically. Not major things. The engine's not going to go pop, but we're talking about like warning lights, electrics. Air suspension is a very common fault. On Range Rover, the air suspension tends to go. It's actually because the car is so common out here, people are starting to come up with solutions locally as well. So, for example, people can rebuild compressors now. Usually they just replace it. The dealer will just replace it. But in Dubai, people there can now repair it. And it's often just a bearing or something that goes. So there are starting to be options because there's simply so many cars here.
There we go. So does that make you think I want to do this, or now you're thinking maybe I need to?
Does that fill you with confidence to go out and buy your first Rangey?
No, now I might as well think twice.
You know what? Go and drive one.
You know what I would actually suggest, and this will be a bit controversial. If you're going to go Rangey, go for a really old one.
Those old boxy ones, yeah?
Yeah, go for the original. Go for the old ones, not the P88, the ones before that. So the classic shape ones.
38, he means.
Not the P38, the one before that, the classic shape ones.
Too hard to find them over here in Dubai.
There are a few out there actually. There are a few. If you look, you will find them. There are a few there. The thing with those, because those they're a bit simpler. There's less electronics and stuff to go wrong with them. There's lots of solutions, and there's lots of people that really know how to fix those cars as well. And you can change the suspension and stuff like that. So there's lots of options with them. So that's the sort of the route that I would go actually. Look for an old Vogue and get that one instead. But yeah, with the newer cars, there's a lot on them that goes wrong. Having said that, you can find a good mechanic, and like Imthishan says, don't always go back to the dealer, because sometimes after...
No, this won't be cost effective to run a car. Nothing wrong with Altair, but their policy is to replace rather than to repair. And with the car of this vintage, even if it's 6 or 7 years old, there's a lot of things that might need small work to get done. Again, there are plenty of garages, like the one that we recommend. Rage is pretty good. Everybody can look after these cars because there's so many Range Rovers in the Middle East. They're just not cheap cars to run. But that doesn't mean that they're bad cars at all.
Manu, thank you very much for calling through to the program, and let us know how you make out with that. And I hope we've given you some food for thought. Give us a call back and let us know.
At least some encouragement.
I hope he buys that Range Rover. I really hope he does.
He might. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it. Let's head over to line 7.
Cool.
And this is Haji joining us here. Here we go.
Hello.
Good evening, Haji. How are you? Are you there?
Oh, okay.
Hold on. No.
I'm interested to buy the...
Good evening. Hold on. You weren't on air. I actually hadn't pushed
the right button. He's only been doing this 10 years.
Yeah. Haji, how can we help you? Welcome to the program, by the way, and thanks for holding.
Yeah, good evening. I'm thinking to buy a Mercedes second hand, but I'm thinking ML or DL. These two series, it almost looks alike.
ML and GL.
actually. And I'm thinking to buy something like under 200,000, second hand, good condition, or maybe which model I can, 2014 or 13 or 15, I'm not sure. Do you help me?
What do you think, guys?
I'm going to say ML to 500 or 350 is easily found at even at dealers 2013. Because the depreciation on these cars is pretty hard.
Really? Okay.
And then
So that's good if you want to buy one, not good if you're trying to sell one.
But the depreciation on the GL is even more.
Ooh.
Yeah, but
they're harder to find.
Harder to find, and like the Range Rover, they are slightly more complicated and slightly more expensive to fix. And again, this running costs are slightly more on the GL.
Yeah, but that's going to happen with the Mercedes anyway.
The other thing is I'm a little wary about the American-built stuff like the ML and the GL, is that they're not quite as durable as the German-built cars. So the ML and GL are good cars. I don't want to suggest that they're bad cars once again, but they might have smaller niggling problems.
Well, what year was he talking?
Whatever you can get for under 200, right?
Yeah, because the more recent ones are better.
The newer the better.
The earlier ones were quite problematic. The earlier MLs were
I really like the product I can buy at the dealer.
Yeah.
I want something that the dealer's gone over and.
Yeah.
Best choice is to get one from the dealer with a full service history and a nicely stamped service book. You know.
Yeah.
I think for 200, I think you could probably get something from the dealer. I think you should go down that route.
Whatever you can't get from the dealer will be pretty much headache free, because you'll have a balance of your 2 or 3 5-year warranty, at least 3 years or 2 years in a warranty. Yeah. And then after you can always extend the warranty. But buying in the open market is a different story altogether.
You might get a better deal, but
more hassle,
more legwork. But ultimately, you might score a really good deal. But more legwork.
So I would only just add to what Imthishan said. I would just add again, look at the GL, because if you're looking for a bigger car, the GL is more spacious. It's it's actually got full 3-row seating in there. And they're harder to find, but they will be slightly better value.
They're actually really good off-road, the GL.
They're actually not bad at all, yeah.
I've driven the GL off-road in Wahiba, in Oman, so they are pretty tough cars.
Do you think I can get the GL in that price, under 200?
I think if you can find one, it's quite possibly. I mean, like I said, they're much rarer, but they depreciate faster. So yeah, it's quite possible.
They didn't sell that many of them, so there are not that many in the market as well. But if you can find them, people tend to hang on to them for a long time, like the G class. So it's the same thing.
Haji, good luck with that. And again, as I seem to be saying every night to folks, let us know how you make out with this. We want to know what you ended up doing. Thank you very much for joining us on the show.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See, there's lots of folks who've got some great suggestions out here.
Got some cash lying around as well, doesn't
it? It's that time
Range
of year.
Rovers, ML, GLs.
Let's get better than that. Hey, here's a great one from Abdul. He says, I have an Audi S6 2014 year model. I love my car, but I kind of feel like leaving it since I'm in need of an SUV. 2 things I'm concerned is the lack of power for an SUV and the resale for an Audi S6. Any suggestions from your side for an amazing SUV, price range around 200, 350,000? Guess he's talking brand new.
That's a very, very good price range.
Man,
lots of cars
boy.
Nissan Patrol, that's where I'd be.
I mean, the default choice is Nissan Patrol for a lot of people. A lot of power, a lot of
they're
options.
Just good looking. The new model is nice looking.
Very popular and popular for a reason. So the default choice is Patrol. Second choice for a lot of people is Land Cruiser. I mean, that's just been updated as well. But the Patrol at the moment seems to be the favored son in our market.
It just looks big.
Very, very
It looks
popular.
big and brash.
He's talking about power. How much is the Grand Cherokee SRT?
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that's normally around... What?
Hold on. If he's coming from an S6 Audi...
Yeah.
The Grand Cherokee might be something.
The thing is,
agreeing with us.
The thing is,
why did I hold on?
Yeah, what's very telling is that he's mentioned power.
Yeah, he wants power.
And there's very little that will get more power for the money than a Grand Cherokee SRT.
Yeah, I mean, I like a Patrol, but boy, oh boy, I want a Grand Cherokee SRT.
It's just the sound of that thing. I mean, when someone puts that pedal down, it's just it makes you go. You sit up straight, and it's like, whoa!
You put the pedal down here, they wake up in Ejman.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It's
totally
incredible.
legally because the exhaust is legal.
Yeah, but so that might be an option for 350. He's easily in that range.
New ones start around 300. Usually, I think the moment they're reading for 280. Some of the 2015 stock I've seen go as little as 220.
220.
220. I had a mate who just picked one up. 220. So go out there and ask if they got any deals going. To be honest, it's Ramadan. They need to move cars. You'll be very, very surprised what they might even sell at a 2016 go for. So go down there and ask questions and bring cash.
Yeah. You see, I mean, if there are manufacturers and dealers listening to this show right now, it should be very heartening for them to hear all of these listeners that want to go out and buy cars right now, because they are open, with willing open arms.
There's a perception that nobody's
people.
buying cars. I don't believe that's farther from the truth. I mean, everybody wants to buy cars.
I'm seeing a lot of new cars out there this week. I'm just shocked at some of the quality cars.
So shocked you just pulled over and just started to take a break.
You just sat there going, oh my God, start counting them. But there's such incredible deals on right now.
I think Subaru's got a great deal on, because I haven't seen so many new Subarus out on the road in the last week. I keep looking. That's a new Subaru, and that what model's that, and what's this, and wow, and yeah.
Yeah, it's quite possible.
I love
now everybody's running great deals. Just go out and check out the deals at the dealers right now. If you're interested in a new car, it's a good time to buy.
So you're saying go for the Grand Cherokee?
Yeah, well,
SRT.
if power's his game, that's the one he needs to look
at.
Grand
Cherokee's
for that
the
money.
name?
For that money, that's it. Yeah, for that money, that's it. Because if you're looking at the other power guys, you're looking at Cayennes and GLE Mercs and X5Ms. I mean, that's all a bit considerably pricier than that budget.
One thing I'm concerned about, because he's coming from an Audi S6 2014.
That's the thing.
That's a 4-liter V8 twin turbo. I mean, how much power do you need, sir?
He needs a lot of power.
No, but
he wants something the same.
400 horsepower.
Yeah, but he's coming out of that into an SUV. He wants something that's on par.
He wants something that he's going to get, and he's still going to get a big smile on his face. The SRT will do that.
SRT will do that.
It's a bit early to sell that car. He's asking about resale. We can't give you exact figures, but I will say that it's a bit early to sell that car, because you will take a bit of a hit. So brace yourself.
He loves the car, though. Maybe he's just going to stick with it.
Maybe. It's a great car. I recommend it. Love it to bits.
Especially if he wants to hold on to the S6 and get the SUV, because
double or nothing. Yeah. No, do it. Do it.
You know what? We want to hear from you. If you've got some car questions, Motoring Middle East is in the house, and we have Matt on the line talking cars. Matt, good evening. You got to turn down your radio.
Yeah, sorry. Good evening. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. How about yourself?
Yeah, I've got a good technical question for you guys. I've got a 67 AC Cobra replica that I brought over from the States.
Nice.
Wow.
Excellent.
That's a good question. That's a good start to the question. I don't know where it's going to go from here, but that's a really good start.
Yeah, it's an awesome car. My problem is that when I registered the car, I mean, it was built in 2015. It's brand new engine. Everything's brand new on it. But when I went to register the car, the RTA can only register it as a 1967 car.
Right.
Yeah.
Which means it's uninsurable in Dubai. You can only get third-party fire and theft. Right. I've tried to speak to all the different insurers. I've tried to reason with the RTA to explain to them that it's not a car from 1967, obviously.
But that's what
do I do to be able to get
what's that new insurance?
I'll get to that, but I think the problem is that the RTA has the car in their system as a 1967 model.
Yeah.
And they're not very flexible about these things, because they had to make some changes. Either you can lobby them extensively, or you can look at classic car insurers. There is a company that introduced a new product for classic car insurance. Actually, there are two companies. AIG does a product, and a company called Green Shields has just launched a classic car product. Maybe you should go have
Green Shields?
Green Shields, yes.
Yeah, cool. I'll definitely give them a call. That's a great idea.
So they will do comprehensive insurance. I believe it's between 3 and 4%. Don't quote me on that, people listening all over the UAE. But I believe it's about that range. So, and they'll have to go through a few checks and so on, but they'll pretty much really comprehensively insure your car.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Thanks a lot. That's brilliant.
When you do that, mention CarTalk and Motoring Middle East.
Yeah. I've been trying to talk to everyone, RSA, like every single insurer, and they're just like, nah.
Well, no, this is not a problem just you face. I think every classic car owner here faces the same problem as well.
I turned up with a DeLorean at all the insurance companies, and first of all, they just laughed, and then secondly, they're like, what is this car? Not in our system. So I understand your pain completely. Nobody knows what a DeLorean is. As a matter of fact, AXA, bless them, who actually insured in the end, had to call Europe just to know what. I mean, I'm showed them the picture of the car, like, no, but we need it in the system. We don't know what it is. So it's I can understand your problem. These are specialty cars, and you will have specialty problems. On the plus side, you have a 67 Cobra.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Come on.
Yeah, it's a beast. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's not a 67 Camry, so there you go.
There we go. Hey, Matt, thank you very much for calling, and as always, let us know how you get this sorted out.
Yeah, no worries. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your help.
Thanks. Bye. Let's see.
What an interesting question.
It's a surprising thing to me, because at one point
extraordinary, you might say.
It's extraordinary, because at one point there was somebody actually making these here.
Yeah.
And I think the shells are at Capital Auto at the moment.
And we know somebody.
And we know somebody who's building one at the moment. So
Awesome.
they even building these cars here brand
But
new.
the registration process is tricky.
Yeah.
Quick one. We got to get through a few of these questions really fast. Jaguar XF 2012 model, 95,000 kilometers, 55,000 dirhams, full service history. Is it worth it?
55,000 dirhams. Yeah, I'd go for it.
Our regional
Sounds
Jag
good.
expert, yes.
That sounds good to me. I don't know which, without even knowing what engine it is, I would say yeah. But full service history, yeah, I think so, yeah. If it's through a dealer, if you can get an extended warranty on it or something, then that would be even better. Try and go for that.
Offer him 50.
Yeah, obviously negotiate.
Yeah, I mean, don't go straight.
Never pay the asking price.
Unless it's Shazad. He's like, oh, that's the price. I'll pay it right there.
What do you guys think of the IS350 2014 year model? Salman wants to know.
Yeah,
Do you
good.
like it?
Good car.
You'd
car.
buy
indeed.
one?
I would, yes.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
No questions asked?
Yeah, I mean, it's a Lexus IS.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Lexus.
Peerless resale value, very comfortable, plenty of power. Why wouldn't
Compact rear-wheel drive. Come on. It's fun.
Okay.
Sorry, that isn't like a slam or anything, but it's a
I
good
thought
car.
you guys were going to disagree on something. It's like, all right.
I know.
I actually would go for the IS250, but I'm weird like that. I don't even mind the small engine, it's fine. But go on.
Arpit says he has a Skoda 2010 VRS and he's having issues with his turbo. Any idea where I can go get it fixed? Dealer is
Expensive, I
it's
think.
expensive, yeah.
Well, it's expensive because they know what they're doing.
What's that? The guys that specialize in VWs in Alco's.
Capital Auto. They also.
Not Capital Auto. There's another one, isn't it? They only do VW products. They should be able to do this.
DTM Technic, something like that.
Something like that. Message us on motoringme.com. We'll try and find out for you. But there's guys. They just deal in VW products. Don't forget. Essentially, this is just a VW.
But to be honest, Capital Auto will do a good job.
Yeah.
Even Range Performance. Anybody. I mean, it's not rocket science replacing a turbo. It's just making the right parts at the right price.
Okay, so there you go. Another one talking about Sajid wants to know, he's going back about the Grand Cherokee TrailHawk. He's wondering, TrackHawk. Should I be waiting a little longer for that?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, because it's not out yet.
But it's like another year before that car hits the road.
You have to wait. You haven't got a choice.
Yeah, but is it worth? I guess the question is it worth waiting for?
Is it worth waiting for?
Yeah.
No, get the SRT.
Because you'll have a great car for a year.
Yeah.
And then you can sell a Grand Cherokee and probably trade it in for a TrackHawk.
Yeah. Because don't forget, even when that thing comes out, it's going to be like the Hellcat. There was like a massive long waiting queue for that thing. So you know what? Just get the SRT for now, and then in the future, maybe in a year or two, when you can, you know, it's like for example now Hellcats.
Yeah.
You know, supply is caught up with demand. But when the Hellcat first came out, like just under 2 years ago, you know, they were like gold dust. It was, you know, you had to, you know, bribe somebody to get those cars.
Or so maybe this is maybe with you guys recommending the Grand Cherokee, maybe Sajid's saying to the guy, maybe this goes back to the guy with the S6, saying wait for the Cherokee TrackHawk.
Yeah, but you'll be waiting a year to 2 years.
Yeah, but that's what we're saying. It's a long wait you've got there.
Okay.
I mean, the first cars will sell for a premium, will be on short supply. To be honest, I was driving the Charger Hellcat around, amazing car, and people are still stopping me and asking me, where did you get this car from?
Guys, we're heading to the phone lines. We've got Newman on the line. Newman,
it's Naman. Hi,
Naman.
guys.
Sorry about Naman. Great to have you with us.
I know my name doesn't take that form. So my question was around, so as my first foray into owning a BM, and I've taken a 525 MKit 2010 model. So I think I've got a decent price. So just want to make sure, not that I have to overly worry about if I've overpaid, but I paid about 55.
What year was it again?
2010.
Okay.
Yeah. So was that in the right range? Quickly, yes or no?
Yeah, quickly yes or no, yes.
Yeah,
quickly,
sounds about right. How's the car? Is it a good car? You enjoying it?
Yeah, it's a very well-maintained, clean car, fully maintained.
Okay,
from
then
the
it's fine.
agency,
Then you've done well.
55 for a BMW that probably retailed for closer to 300 brand new.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
well done. There you go.
Well done. Congratulations. Does it put a smile on your face? Does it put a smile on your face? Oh, there you go.
There you go. Sorted.
I have to say that, you know, so it's been a while since I've been looking at a BM, so now I finally have it. So the other question is, since it is a 2010, of course, you know, what do you recommend in regards to taking care of it or maintenance, or I don't know if I'll be able to do agency maintenance going forward.
It'll be expensive, the agency. There are lots of independents out there that you can look at.
Any recommendations?
You know what? I think it's best to get in touch with these guys at motoringme.com. Just drop them a line over there, and they can...
There are plenty of garages and alcos. There are plenty of people who look up BMWs. They're not really difficult cars to find.
Yeah,
so on.
Excellent. Hey, thank you very much for joining us, and glad that you got the car that you've always been dreaming about. We look forward to talking to you again real soon. Numan, thank you very much for calling. And like I said, get in touch with these guys, www.motoringme.com, and they can help direct you through to all sorts of things. And, of course, anything we've been talking about this evening, go to their website, go to Facebook. Get in touch with these guys.
We're absolutely. One thing I just want to add to that, very, very quickly. People asking, like, is this the right price? Have I paid the right price? You know, there was an old adage that we used to say back at Parker's Guide in the UK, the right price for a used car is whatever somebody is willing to pay for it at that point in time. If that's what you wanted to pay for it and you feel you've got a good car for the money, it's the right price.
There we go. It's that simple. Shahzad, Imthishan, guys, we've run out the clock on Car Talk. Once again, look forward to doing it all again next week. Same place, same time, 9 to 10, right here in Dubai Eye. That's when we sit down and talk about